What if you weren't born with low confidence at all? What if you've just been practicing it, quietly, every single day, without even knowing? 5 habits do it. They're so ordinary you'd never suspect them. Nothing dramatic ever breaks, it just leaks. And the third one is draining more than the other 4 combined. Watch for it. There's no single day it happens. Your self-belief doesn't snap in half. It drains, one small habit at a time. So slowly you adjust to each lower version of you. Then one afternoon you catch a photo of yourself, or you hear your voice on a recording. And for a second, you barely recognize the smaller person looking back. And here's what most people do next. They decide, I guess I'm just an insecure person. That's who I am. But hold on. Self-trust isn't handed to you at birth, like your eye color. Somewhere along the way, your brain simply learned to protect you by making you play small. And anything your brain learned, it can unlearn. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. Have you ever typed out a text, stared at it for 5 minutes, then deleted the whole thing? Not because it was wrong, because a voice whispered, "Maybe this sounds stupid." It quietly picks the job you don't apply for, the thing you don't say on the Zoom call. So let's catch the 5 thieves in the act. The first thief is talking right now. That was stupid. You always do this. Who do you even think you are? Be honest. You've heard that voice today. You've replayed it so long you don't hear it as a voice anymore, just background noise, like traffic outside a window. But you're still hearing every word. And so is the part of you quietly believing it. Here's why it's dangerous. Your brain slowly starts believing whatever you repeat the most, true or not. Think about the last time a friend messed up in front of you. Dropped their phone, forgot a name, sent the wrong text. You'd never lean over and say, "Wow, you idiot." Yet you aim that exact cruelty inward, all day. Say it enough, and it stops being a thought. It becomes your identity. The second thief lives in your pocket. You open the app to kill 2 minutes, and everyone's richer, happier, further ahead. Someone just announced a promotion. An old classmate just bought a house. But you're stacking your behind the scenes against their highlight reel, the 2 best seconds of their whole month. It was never a fair fight. It was designed to never be one. And notice something sneaky. Have you ever compared yourself to someone in the one area you're already crushing? Never. You always find the exact person ahead in the thing you feel worst about. That's not you measuring progress. That's self-punishment, wearing the costume of motivation. And it leaves you a little emptier every time you close the screen. But the next thief I have to warn you about. Can I tell you the one that hit me hardest? Remember I said one thief drains more than the other 4 combined? This is it. Number 3. The alarm goes off. You hit snooze. The gym shoes sit by the door, untouched. I'll start Monday. Each time feels harmless. A private nothing nobody sees. But someone's keeping score. You are. And you never miss an entry. Because every broken promise teaches your brain the same brutal lesson. My word to myself means nothing. Picture 2 friends. One shows up exactly when they say they will. The other cancels every other plan. Which one do you trust? Now the uncomfortable question. Which one are you becoming to yourself? Do that enough, and something underneath starts to quietly bleed out. Sit with this, because it changes everything. Confidence was never believing you're better than other people. It's the quiet, bone-deep belief that you'll do what you say, that you'll handle whatever shows up, which means you don't build it with affirmations in the mirror. You build it by keeping tiny, boring promises to one specific person. You. The fourth thief is clever because it disguises itself as being nice. You soften your real opinion to fit the room. You over-apologize for taking up space. You need people to like you before you're allowed to feel okay. It feels like kindness. Underneath, it's a slow handover of your entire worth to whoever's standing closest. Because every time you hand your worth to someone's reaction, you also hand them the controls. Have you ever felt amazing after one compliment, then crushed by one cold reply? Your self-respect becomes a stock that spikes and crashes on other people's moods. And here's the cruel twist. The more approval you collect, the more you need. It never fills the hole. The fifth thief hides as being smart. You skip the risk, pass on the opportunity. Stay quiet in the meeting when you knew the answer. And you call it being realistic. But every time you shrink to dodge a possible failure, you also shrink the evidence that you can handle things. Courage grows from doing hard things and surviving them. Playing small quietly starves it of proof. And watch how this one snowballs. Think about the last time you skipped one workout. The next skip came so much easier, didn't it? You stay quiet in one meeting, so speaking up next time feels scarier. Every avoidance makes the next avoidance the obvious choice, until your whole life quietly narrows down to only the things that never risk making you feel small. Now notice what all 5 thieves share. Not one of them is about how talented you actually are. You could be gifted, kind, and capable, and still feel worthless. None of this ever measured how good you are. It only edited the story you tell yourself. Maybe you don't hate yourself. Maybe you've just spent years collecting evidence against yourself and ignoring every piece that says you're capable. And that's the best news possible, even if it doesn't feel like it. Your self-belief isn't broken. It isn't missing. It isn't gone. It's just buried under a stack of small daily habits. And you can dig it back out. You don't need to become louder or a different, braver person. You were never the problem. The habits were. And habits are far easier to change than a whole self. So you don't fix this with one grand gesture. There's no bold leap that finally proves you're brave. Forget the movie moment. It's not coming, and you don't need it. You fix it the same way it broke. One small daily reversal at a time. You stop the leaks first. Then, slowly, you start refilling. And refilling is quieter than the internet makes it sound. So pick one thief, just one, and interrupt it once today. Catch a harsh thought mid-sentence? Reword it the way you'd talk to a scared friend. Feel the pull to open the app? Close it instead. You're not trying to win the whole war today. You're just proving, one single time, that the automatic habit can be broken. Then, starting today, keep one promise to yourself every single day. I don't care how absurdly small. Make the bed. Drink the water. Send the text you've been avoiding. You're not doing a chore. You're casting a vote for the kind of person who trusts their own word. Brick by quiet brick, you rebuild the self-trust those 5 thieves spent years stealing. And one day, with no ceremony, It just happens. An ordinary Tuesday. Someone asks for ideas, and before the fear can interrupt, you hear yourself speaking. On the drive home, you notice something strange. Nothing magical happened. You simply became someone who trusts their own word. That's how it comes back. Quietly. You won't have found your confidence. You'll have rebuilt it, one kept promise at a time. So here's the honest question. Which of the 5 thieves has quietly been running your life? Drop just one word in the comments, the first one that came to mind. And if any part of this felt like it was about you, subscribe. I make these for the quiet stuff you don't say out loud, a new one every week.